All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're embarking on a deeply reflective journey for your own personal development. We're looking at this incredible concept that fundamentally challenges how we view our daily interactions, our hidden emotions, and the invisible signals we're constantly sending to the people around us. Most of us completely ignore this reality in our day-to-day lives, but it is absolutely crucial to understand. We all tell ourselves this comforting little myth. We move through life believing that our separate minds and our separate struggles mean we're, well, truly isolated beings. We go about our days assuming that what happens in our heads simply stays in our heads. But the truth is actually quite stark. No human being exists in psychological isolation. Every single thought, emotion, and unspoken fear is continuously radiating outward. You might really believe your inner world is perfectly private. People say it all the time, right? Oh, I keep my negativity to myself, or I hide my pain well. But you don't. You really don't. You leak yourself everywhere. A forced smile, the harsh, tense way you set down a coffee mug, that tight tension in your shoulders. Fragments of your hidden pain and unconscious behaviors are constantly escaping into the environment around you. Here's the wild part. Human beings act as powerful transmitters long before they ever open their mouths to speak. Think about a real-life example. An entire room can instantly feel the nervous, tight presence of a frightened person the second they walk in, right? A kid easily absorbs the anxiety of a parent who is insisting they're completely fine. Your body transmits, your eyes transmit, your entire nervous system transmits. Even your complete silence is communicating something loud and clear. It's a staggering truth when you really realize it. Your mere presence creates consequences way beyond your physical boundaries, even when you're sitting in total stillness. Think of sitting quietly in a stressful meeting room or a tense family living room. Everything communicates. You literally don't get a day off from this. You are affecting people even when you're doing absolutely nothing at all. So a great concrete exercise here is to practice intentional stillness in those stressful social settings. Just ground your feet, take a slow breath, and focus on neutralizing your physical tension. Let's look at how this builds, because every single internal state creates an expanding ripple. This shows us exactly how individual emotions eventually ripple outward to become our community culture. Like one cruel word might survive in someone's mind for 30 long years. But on the flip side, one act of genuine kindness, that can alter an entire family lineage. One fearful person spreads panic to millions, but one awakened, grounded person can spread courage across generations. This transmission is totally automatic and unstoppable. As the quote says, "The ripple never asks permission, it simply travels." This beautifully and heavily explains the reality of history. For example, a nation can inherit the unresolved historical trauma of generations long dead, passing down grief or hypervigilance through cultural habits and shared anxieties. That historical trauma doesn't need our permission to span across time. It just travels right through our shared psychological atmosphere. Because something is broadcasting from you every single second, it is absolutely vital to turn the mirror inward. Let's do a quick guided visualization and a daily check-in right now. Take a deep breath. Settle into your chair and ask yourself these simple check-in questions. What signal am I unknowingly putting out into the room right now? What does my body feel like? Am I projecting stress? What is my broadcast today? Am I transmitting resentment, insecurity, greed, or am I transmitting calm? Now, we're all pretty good at trying to mask this broadcast. People walk through life projecting these incredibly layered, deceptive signals, rather than just dealing with their actual internal reality. You might see someone transmitting deep desperation, but it's cleverly disguised as confidence. Or vanity disguised as success. Emptiness disguised as achievement. But guess what? The transmission always cuts through the disguise. And then you have those rare people who broadcast pure peace. The key takeaway here for your personal journey is this. They aren't broadcasting peace because they read a self-help book or mastered some neat conversational trick. They broadcast it simply because that calm has become their genuine actual state of being. You cannot fake a transmission of peace. It comes from building simple daily habits to shift your broadcast, like choosing to pause and reset before reacting, day after day. Think of our shared human connection like a massive network of radio waves and mirrors. We are all extraordinarily sensitive antennas. We detect psychological signals, those invisible frequencies being broadcast by everyone else, long before our conscious thoughts even process what's happening. The moment you walk into a room, your internal receiver is already picking up the static or the clarity of the people around you. Because we act as amplifiers in this giant network, panic and corruption can spread like wildfire. An angry crowd easily infects a calm person. But, and this is a huge but, courage, integrity, and truth have the exact same contagious power. A truly grounded, calm person acts like an anchor, settling an angry crowd. Everything spreads. Every single emotion is contagious. Zooming out from the individual, we realize that human consciousness itself might be the absolute greatest transmission system we've ever encountered. Civilizations are built entirely upon this. Ideas, beliefs, shared traumas, collective dreams. Massive cultural shifts don't just happen on paper. They propagate right through our shared human experiences. History itself is literally just a long line of transmission. This dynamic is incredibly obvious in leadership. A leader's true transmission to their team does not come from their mouth. It comes directly from their state of being. A team might hear the words, but they invariably feel the internal state. You can stand in front of a boardroom and speak passionately about unity, but transmit fear. You can speak about truth, but actually transmit deception. And this is exactly why certain people can walk into a room and instantly change the entire atmosphere. It isn't magic. They are just broadcasting an undeniable truth. Remember this. The transmission always reveals what language tries to conceal. You can script the perfect speech, but your audience is going to receive your state of being long before they process your vocabulary. Most of us obsess over controlling our words. We want to say the exact right thing to our partner, our kids, our coworkers. But what you are fundamentally becoming will eventually overwhelm anything you say. Character is transmission. Presence is transmission. Consciousness is transmission. Ultimately, it is never about what you say, it's entirely about who you are. You see, you are not just a passive witness to life. Through your daily habits and reactions, you are actively contributing to humanity's psychological atmosphere. Every single day, you are adding something to the collective fields of the people around you. Even simple things like turning daily chores, folding the laundry, washing the dishes, into quiet moments of intentional connection and calm can shift that field. The choice is yours. More fear or more courage. More division or more understanding. Because look, long after your possessions disappear, and long after your achievements are forgotten and your name fades from memory, one of these specific fragments of your transmission is going to remain. A belief, a wound, a lesson, a fear, a truth, a light, or a darkness. It will still be moving, like an invisible current, right through other human beings. It is a staggering, almost overwhelming responsibility to realize that the essence of who you are today will continue rippling outward indefinitely across space and time. That transmission may travel farther than you will ever know, inherited by people you'll never even meet. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final, inescapable thought to carry with you as you navigate your daily interactions. The question was never whether you are transmitting. You are always transmitting. The only question is, when your life sends its signal into the world today, what exactly is being broadcast?